I'm fast stripping. They seem to like that motion. Oh, there he was.
This week on Kentucky Afield, we're on the Nolan River, throwing both fly fishing tackle and conventional gear for hard-fighting white bass.
If you don't like that, you don't like fishing.
Next, we'll take to the hardwoods with avid outdoorsman Kenton Bottoms in search of squirrels.
We got one.
Then, we'll see how law enforcement is using technology to keep the state's lakes clean and safe.
There's the car.
There it is.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Kentucky Afield. Every week, Kentucky Afield brings you features on hunting and fishing across the state.
What a nice fish.
It's an opportunity to hopefully get that bird in play.
Hey, we got another one over here.
There he is. Ooh, a nice one too. Boy, he's healthy.
What do we got?
That was awesome. Got the first kill. Barely made it out in the field.
Got one big smallmouth.
Very nice.
Double point. They're in there.
There they go.
Look at that joker.
Woo!
That's a good one there.
Look at that.
Whoa, this is a good one.
That's better than good, Chad.
Hello and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Every spring here in Kentucky, the White Bass Run provides an opportunity for all anglers, whether you fish from the bank, a boat, or what your tackle preferences are. Well, it's April. You know what that means. It's time to either be in the turkey woods or chasing white bass if you live here in Kentucky. And I'm here with good friend and former 3rd District Commission member, Ralph Swallows. How you doing?
Doing great, Chad. It's great to be here today. Nothing I'd rather be doing.
Since you've retired, you spend a lot of time chasing these white bass.
I love the White Bass Run. This is peak time to be out and spend as much time as I can on the water.
I've seen you out fishing. You know, we've ran into each other
Right.
quite a few times, and several times it's been white bass fishing. But I'll tell you what, I've never seen you fish without a fly rod. You're going to be
That's
throwing
right.
a fly rod today too,
That's
aren't you?
absolutely correct. But that's me. That's
And
what
you're
I like
actually
to
going to be
fish with.
throwing flies that you hand tied yesterday, right?
Yes, that's correct. There you go.
Oh, there you go. So this is like a little woolly booger looking thing with no weight on it.
That's right. I tied that last night, and I call that a white bass bullet.
White bass bullet, because that's what you target with them predominantly, is white bass.
That's
right?
it. No weight, and they just love this color, just white.
Speaking of chasing turkeys, look at that right there. See that hen turkey right there?
Oh,
Right to the left.
yeah. All right. Yeah, that's absolutely. How about it? That's the first one. I haven't heard any gobbling here,
Well,
but
it's that
how
time of
about
year
that?
to be chasing turkeys.
Yeah, it is.
But I tell you what, I'd rather be doing what we're doing right now.
I'll have you using a fly rod before the end of the day.
You won't twist my arm too hard.
I'm fast stripping. They seem to like that motion. Oh, there he was. I had another one. And we seem to like that. I let it sink a little bit and just pop it. Nice fish.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, you've got something there with that little fly and that fly rod there.
Yeah.
Just the presentation keeps the bait in the strike zone so long, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And that's one of the keys to this, I believe, at least it's proven itself to be true. This is a sinking line. It'll keep the bait at the same level for a long period of time. There's not much to it. I tied these last night. I tied a dozen last night. Didn't take hardly any time to tie them. And they just work really good. Just all it is a little flash and a little marabou tail.
It's a really, really slow presentation. You know, a lot of times people think, well, you can't cast as far and it takes you longer to get your bait into the strike zone. Well, it might take a little bit longer, but once you get it there, it stays in the strike zone for a long period of time.
Right. I'll do the same type of presentation with a floating line, but with a heavier leader and the same bait, And the floating line using fluorocarbon on a leader will keep the bait in about 2 feet of water. So if you're fishing over grass, if you're fishing a lake and you're fishing for bass, it's a great presentation. Gives you a suspending bait.
No,
And
yeah.
you can make it, you just don't have any weight on your fly. And the fly just stays in the zone for a lot longer.
Here we go.
Yeah, good one.
Pretty good fish. There we go. Pound for pound, they're close to the top of the charts for how hard they fight, aren't they?
Yeah.
Looky there. That one's good enough size. We'll take that one home. Thank you.
Look at that, that's a good one.
That's a really good fish.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we're after.
That is a trophy size white
Yeah,
bass
isn't
right
it?
there. And so,
I've been catching those all week.
so a little bit of when we put in, everybody's chasing the front end of the bass run. So when we put in, we haven't seen a boat this way yet, and 3 or 4 boats were coming.
Yeah,
from the
they're all
other
going
way.
to go upstream.
They're all going to go upstream because everybody's getting on the leading edge. But the problem is that the females, and now I don't know for sure, but I'd bet $10 that that's a female.
She looked like she might be spawned out.
These females fish tend to be
Oh, this is
a little behind
yeah.
the males that run
Yeah.
up. We're more for looking for quality and not quantity, so you were like, let's go toward the lake.
We should get both today. We should get all we want, and we should be able to find a lot of these.
That's a great fish. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a perfect size white bass for the skillet right there, isn't it?
They're fantastic. Oh, there he is. Oh, nice one.
That's like a good one there.
Yeah.
Let me grab the net. That's a good fish. Now that is another giant white bass. This is the reason you come to, I'll tell you what, I have caught a couple at Taylorsville that size, but they're few and far between, aren't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
Unless you catch a hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch some of those up there. That is a really, really nice size white bass. Well, how long do you think that is? 15, 16?
Yeah, he's 15, maybe. We'll get him right in there.
Here we go. I did not tie my fly. This is a Charlie Brewer slider grub. Little bitty 1.5 inch one, and I use it quite a bit because I can cast it a long way with this. It's got a 32nd ounce weight on it. I can cast it a long way. That's a pretty good one there. We'll keep that one.
This is a pretty good spot usually, right in here. There he is.
Got him.
That's a good one.
Wow. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Thank you.
If someone said, when's the white bass run gonna take place? You know, there's so many factors and variables. You know, water temperature being one, water conditions being a second, how much water you've got. I give them an early date, but I tell them, you may have to make 2 or 3 trips to hit them good, because I've made trips where I just didn't catch a whole bunch, but that's part of it.
There he is. That's a good one. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Those are the ones we want.
You are smashing them on that fly. Look at that beautiful fish on that little bitty fly. It doesn't have any weight, just drifting it through there real nice and slow. Looks like a pretty good fish right here. There we go, that's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah.
Nolan River white bass. I'll tell you what, Kentucky offers a whole lot of excellent fishing opportunities throughout the year. You know, from wintertime fishing at Dale Hollow Lake for smallmouth and stripers and some of the trout fisheries. But as far as some of the most fun days I've ever had fishing in the state of Kentucky, the white bass run has to be up there close. Because when it's on, it's a nonstop, hard fighting fish, and you can just catch so many of them.
There he is. Yeah, we'll keep him.
First cast.
Got him.
Yep. Look
Good
at there.
job.
Nice white bass right there. Oh, you got one?
Yeah, buddy.
Nice. You got a nice one.
Whew. You want him for the live well?
You can put that one in there, that's a good one. This one's going down river. tell you
Nice
what,
one.
if you don't like that, you don't like fishing. It's plain and simple. If you can't get excited about catching a wide-bodied, hard-fighting fish in the current, then you just don't like to fish. So much fun. Look at that. Hey, I'll tell you what, Ralph, these are nice fish.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That was a walleye with it.
Oh yeah, that's a walleye or a sauger. Trying to get that, isn't he?
Yes, did you see that? Trying to eat that out of its mouth. Right now, it's just one fish after the next. Just almost every cast. Oh. Oh my gosh, you see that thing going under the boat? You got one too?
Yeah.
I tell you what, these are good fish.
Oh yeah, they are.
Thick, healthy, fat white bass, doubling up, fighting them in the current, getting ready to have fish tacos. It doesn't get much better than this, does it?
No, it doesn't. Doesn't get much better. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, here he is. Look at that.
How about that? Look at that.
Look at that. That is so cool. Are those shad or are those?
No, those are whites. Looks like it.
Are those males that are spawning with
Yeah.
it? That is really cool. That's a dandy there now.
Yeah.
You may have to put that one on the board. That right there might be the fish of the day so far.
You want to come back here and try this fly rod?
Sure, I'd like to catch one on a fly rod.
All right. You look like a pro already. Okay.
Oh,
There he is.
There he is. Oh, that's a good one
How
too.
about that? That's great.
That thing came up and hit.
He come up and got it, didn't
Yes, he did.
he? We're gonna nut that one.
I tell you what, that's about as much fun as you can have with a rod and reel in your hand. You know, and I'm
Nice
not a
fish.
fly fisherman. I do a
Yeah.
little bit of fly fishing, but I've been seeing you catch them, and look at this bend in this rod.
Right.
And you're fighting
Absolutely.
these things, and it's,
Yeah,
Look at
that's
that.
a good one. Now
That's
that
a
might be the
good-
best one today. I don't know. We might have to measure that. See.
I mean-
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
this just goes to show you, you know, every single time we come up here, people tell you, you gotta throw white, you gotta throw pink, you gotta throw this, you gotta throw this weight. The simple fact is you can catch them. They're wanting to eat any piece of bait or minnow that comes
That's
by.
exactly right.
And it's all about getting the presentation that you're the most comfortable with and it's the most fun to you.
Yeah.
But if you get hung up a lot, you need less weight. You
That's
know,
right.
if you're fishing an area where the current's moving and your bait's not getting deep enough, you need a little more
That's
weight.
right.
This technique with the weighted line and this little tie, this fly you with no weight, is a perfect presentation.
Yeah, it works well.
Thanks for
Yeah,
teaching me a thing or two.
You're welcome.
And that was awesome.
Awesome.
The spring squirrel season is now in, and it's a great opportunity for new hunters and experienced hunters alike.
Oh, they're here. I mean, we just got to run into the right ones. I don't know that I've ever been skunked here before. We are in Anderson County, and we're out a little bit past Beaver Lake. So we're gonna be hunting a mix of hardwoods with some cedars thrown in. And if you look here on the log, you can see squirrel prints. We know they've been active today because the snow fell last night. So we know that they've been around. There's also a few nests around here, so we know that there's been activity here. We're just trying to catch up with them. It's pretty cold, so I don't know how well we'll do, but the sun's starting to try and peek out a little bit. The wind's not as bad as we thought it was gonna be, so I think we might get lucky and be able to get a few. I'm actually from a non-traditional hunting family. Like, I don't know what it is, I always wanted to hunt from the time I can remember. I think the first hunt I ever went on was a deer hunt, and I pestered my dad. The guy he worked with took me out on a youth hunt, and I was able to be successful and harvest a doe. And from then on, like, hunting is, it's my favorite thing to do, really. So it's the farm we're on today, doing this squirrel hunt, is actually a guy that I grew up with, and his dad taught us a bunch of stuff about hunting. That's kind of the way it blossomed is, you know, I met some guys I went to school with, and their dads were pretty big in the outdoors and stuff, and were teaching them, and I kind of fell in with them and got taught a lot of good lessons that way. Oh, I see one. He was up in that biggest cedar tree right there. and he kind of got on that limb that kind of juts across right there, and he was kind of moving this direction, so I think he's over this way somewhere. But it's just so thick in these cedars that it's hard to see through there to see where he's at. There's one. Couldn't get her. All right, we got him treed up. We got him treed up now. There we go. Back home. We got one. We saw 3 squirrels go up this tree right here. We got one, but we're trying to see if we can get another one. They're still up there in this tree. They're just not showing themselves. Sometimes that'll get them to show, but... Oh, I see one. Oh, gosh. Oh, should have shot. That was a good one, too. I should have shot. Those squirrels are just so fast that it's hard to, when they're running, it can be hard to get on them. We got a nice big squirrel. So there's a couple more up here, so put him in the pouch, and that's a big tree. They could be anywhere in that tree. They clearly got some kind of food source that they've probably buried or something. That's probably where their living's, in this tree, so I always swing back and check it. It's not the fact of actually going hunting or anything that makes it so daunting. It's, you know, what do you do afterwards? How do you process that animal? There are resources out there like Hunters of Color, which I'm affiliated with. I'm actually the state ambassador. You could reach out to me about something like that. But also Fish and Wildlife, they do the Field to Fork program. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it teaches you everything you need to know to go out there and be successful. Now, it's gonna take effort. I mean, it doesn't happen easily every time, but it's like, you know, it'll teach you, what do I do if I am successful and I do harvest this animal? And so, you know, I think that's a very important barrier to kind of break down. It's important to me because being a minority, if there weren't people that took the time to kind of show me things, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. And so more representation, maybe more younger kids seeing people that kind of look like them out there doing that could get more people out hunting. And plus, we just need more hunters. We need more people that are there to pass on the pastime, because I mean, it's a great hobby, a great sport, and can keep kids out of trouble. It's good, wholesome fun. I mean, you can provide a little extra food for your family. I mean, I've seen so many back in here. It's just, it's good. Right there. Dang it. Here he just come, he's going up in that tree. On the backside of that one, I just seen his head. He's kind of got himself in a pickle there. There we go. How in the world? He's up there, he's on the... All right, here we go. There he is. Now you ain't gotta tell everybody I missed like that. I don't know how I missed it that one time. But shoo. All right. There we go, a little success story. Oh yeah, there we go, there's another one. We got enough to make something out of now. Making some good food right there. Good looking squirrel. 2's a good number. It'll take 3 or 4, but 2 is enough to make you something real good to eat. That's enough you can kind of put them in the crock pot, maybe make you a little squirrel gravy or a little squirrel and dumplings action. Pretty good little meal right there. So I'm feeling really, really, really happy that we got 2. That's a ideal squirrel habitat. it was a good day. You know, we went for a walk. It was a beautiful day. It ended up being awesome out here. We were able to get a couple of squirrels, so, you know, we'll have a nice dinner. Anybody can get out here and do this, man. Just come out, take a walk through the woods. It's like, you may not be successful every time, which I'm not successful every time, but you'll get to where you start to learn things and pick things up. Don't get discouraged if you're not successful right away. Just keep plugging away and, you know, you'll get better and you'll learn more and you'll have fun. And it's just like, it's good exercise too. And, you know, come out here with a buddy, you're sitting there talking, we're cutting up, having a good time. So all in all, a great day.
Our conservation officers here in the state of Kentucky have a lot of unique duties, some of which may surprise you.
We're out here at Cedar Creek Lake today in Lincoln County. This is a department-owned lake. We got a call that there was a car in the water. We're using new equipment to ultimately get the car out of the water. There's a marker behind me of a buoy that we've marked that has the GPS coordinates of where the car has been located. The equipment we're using today is a towfish sonar, which allows us to GPS plot everything and take pictures as we're going through the water and cover a bigger area. There it is. This program we use allows us to plot everything and allows us to ping, take a picture of each thing. So right here we've got a picture of the edge of the boat ramp with GPS coordinates, and then you can see is these little red dots are each image I just took of a car. Everything in the water puts off a shadow, so we're able to look from different angles to see, yeah, that is confirming that it's a car or a body or stump or whatever. And it allows us to be able to get all these points, and then it gives us a GPS coordinate of it to where we can go and type it in on our phone and then drop a marker on it, and it's going to get us in a real close area of that object to whether we deploy the ROV or we have to send divers down. In this case today, we're going to send a set of divers down. We're getting ready to deploy the ROV. It's an underwater drone. It has multiple propellers on it and a claw on it. It's going to be ran off a generator. It has a big monitor on it along with a computer that you use for the sonar equipment. There's a process to go through. You got to run your cord to the ROV. There's a lot of little bitty things you got to check before you can put it in the water and make sure everything works. We're going to try to get a picture of the car up close and maybe try to get a license plate off of it if we're lucky enough and the water's clear enough. I'm on the road. There's the car.
There it is.
Once Taylor County gets set up, they're going to follow that buoy marker down. We've got it attached to magnets at the end of it. They're going to be able to follow that line down to the car. It's going to help us utilize not wasting so much time. They're going to hook up some straps and then take a cable out there from the tow truck, and that way they can hook up to it and get the car out. This is just an easier way for us not to waste as much time with having divers constantly searching in the water. This equipment that we're using is allowing us to get that time factor down and not have the divers in the water as long on those hot summer days. This new equipment that we're training on and getting out in the field is going to be able to help us be able to recover cars or other objects out of the lake in a timely manner. If we have that worst case scenario of a drowning, it'll allow us to go out there and recover that individual for their loved ones quicker by using this equipment to hopefully narrow down the areas that they are and go down and recover that individual or either get the car out in a timely manner once we know it's there and locate it.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. The highlight of Scotty Johnson's turkey season was being in the blind with his daughter while his 8-year-old granddaughter harvested her first turkey. Nice job. Joey Long had some great family fun on Lake Barkley as he went bow fishing with Maddie and Landon. Congratulations. Shane Taylor caught this nice smallmouth bass while fishing on topwater at Laurel River Lake. Cadence Carter caught this nice bluegill while fishing at Lake Harrington. Nice job. Check out these nice smallmouth bass that were caught out of the Green River. These were taken by Wyatt Henderson. Congratulations. Next weekend is the kickoff of the boating season here in Kentucky with Memorial Day weekend. Make sure before you hit the water that your boat is in good working order. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.